Swashbucklers, you're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 48. My name is Phil Johnson. I'm your host for the show. Thank you for tuning in once again. I appreciate it. Everybody that tunes in is an awesome person. And you can be even more awesome if you tell your friends about the show. Yeah, you want to be more. I know you want to be more awesome. So, welcome to the show. I hope you're listening in from wherever, something you're doing where you're being happy. You might be exercising. I don't know. That doesn't make me happy. You might be working. Maybe your work makes you happy. You might be gardening. You might be driving if you like driving. I hope you're doing something that makes you happy while you're listening to this show. Maybe you're sword fighting. You shouldn't listen to this while you're sword fighting. It's dangerous. You should concentrate on your sword fighting. So this is episode number 48. Fun fact about number 48 that you probably know, there are 48 states in the contiguous United States, which is ironic because my guest today is in Hawaii, which is not one of those 48 states. It is the 50th state. My guest on the show today is Alan Shepard of Hawaii Pirate Adventures, and I went searching for a Hawaiian guest because Hawaii was the last holdout state to have never listened to this show. And even now, we're certainly not big there. We're not big in Hawaii. But we finally did get a couple of downloads from some people in Hawaii. And I don't know what took so long. But I wanted to go after a Hawaiian guest. And we'll see if maybe we get some more people in Hawaii listening to the show. So there's kind of a theme to the show. So here's the thing. I had a sort of a light week. I went and did a set at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz the other night just to work out some new material and things like that. And then I had the weekend off. And it's weird when I have a weekend off where I'm not doing gigs because there's two sides to it, right? So, like, here's what we did. My girlfriend and I, we finally watched Straight Outta Compton the other night on DVD, which was great. If you haven't seen it, great movie. I was not super into gangster rap. That doesn't mean I wasn't into rap. I was into rap before that. I was into Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel. And at 10, I was a kid breakdancing and listening to hip-hop. It was called rap music then. It wasn't even called hip-hop yet. I don't know how a 10-year-old in California got a hold of so much rap music at the time. I'm still not quite sure, but that's what I was listening to. I was also listening to Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. So I mixed it up pretty well then. But when it came to gangster rap, I didn't really, there was nothing there I could identify with, so it didn't really click with me. In later years, I started to experience it and understand what they were doing, and it's great music. But the movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, well cast, well acted, very, very cool, and you should check it out. So we watched Straight Outta Compton. I helped my girlfriend do some painting in her mom's house. If you've been listening to the show, you know my girlfriend's mom passed away about a month and a half ago. So we're cleaning out of her house and fixing it up to be rented and that kind of stuff. So we were painting over there. I did some weed pulling in my yard. We ran some errands. And part of me, when I have a weekend off like that, it's very seductive because I go, what if I were a regular person? Just a regular person who had weekends off and did this kind of thing, because at times it's kind of relaxing. Like I like to sit down on the couch on a Friday night and watch a movie with my girlfriend. You know, that's fun. We go get ice cream on a Sunday afternoon. That's fun. We usually do that anyway, but it's very seductive. And I start thinking, what if this was what I normally did, you know? And then and usually at that point, my girlfriend will go, "You need to go do a gig or something because you are really cranky when you're not on stage." Which is the flip side of it. Is it's relaxing to not have to be impressive all the time. Not that I'm impressive all the time, but working to be impressive all the time. And because that's part of the job. Every day is trying to impress somebody with my work that I do. Right now, that's you. I'm trying to impress you with my work, with the interviews, with the words coming out my mouth, things like that. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. I know you want to hear it. And I know there's different kind of audiences that come to shows, right? There's an audience where they've come to see me and it's great and everybody's buying in and they just want to have a good time, and that's cool. Those are the easy, super fun gigs. And then there's the ones where maybe the people don't know. People are worried about what I'm going to do. And this goes for anybody, right? You could be worried at a Yanni concert that it's not going to be for you, right? And really, it's not for anybody. And those type of things are a little like you have to work a little harder to be impressive for an audience that's not sure about what you're going to do. And then the hardest ones is when there's somebody actively there judging you, right? Maybe it's an audition type situation, or it's just an important venue where it's more important that the owner like your act than the audience like your act, right? And so those are the hardest ones. There can be one of those in the room. There could be 1,000 people in the room, but if there's one person in that room that is judging you on your work, that makes the whole thing less enjoyable and much harder to do. So anyway, I'm not exactly sure how I got off on this tangent, except to say that I do like my work, my gigs, all that. It's great, and they're fun, but it is seductive to be able to sit around the house for 3 days and not have to be impressive, not be working so hard to impress other people. I only have to impress my girlfriend when I'm sitting around the house, and that doesn't happen very often. I mean, that I impress her. It's, she doesn't love me for my money or my sense of humor. I'll put it that way. So, so I had that weekend off, and it was a little bit of withdrawal, but that's all right. So here's the thing. Like I was saying before, I hope you're doing something you enjoy while you're watching this, because this is really a theme of the show today, is that removing the suck from your life and doing things that you enjoy, no matter what those may be. Now, we can be responsible while we're doing this, but I spend all my time trying to remove things from my life that I do not enjoy doing, right? I have a virtual assistant that helps me post tour dates on my websites, because that's boring as can be. So I pay him to do it. I pay him to do other things for me. I happily pay people to do things for me that I don't enjoy doing, as long as I have the money to pay them to do that. So everything that I do is about bringing something, removing the things that suck and bringing in the things that are enjoyable. And my guest today is very much the same way. Alan Shepard. You're going to hear his story of how he ends up becoming a pirate on a pirate ship in Hawaii through all the things that he has done in his life. And it's a really interesting story, and I think you are absolutely going to dig it. And I hope that you continue to remove the suck from your life and bring the enjoyable things in, because that's all you need. That's all you need. If you enjoy life, that's all you need. Even if you're not super rich, it helps, right? That's why we're jealous of rich people, because they get to enjoy things and they get to remove the suck. But you don't have to be rich right away to do that. Just start removing the suck now as much as you can, and then keep removing the suck until as much suck as possible is gone. You can never get rid of all of it, right? You still got to brush your teeth and whatever. But, we get rid of as much of it as you can, because I don't think you can pay anybody to brush your teeth for you. Or brush their teeth for you. That would be even better. If they could just brush their teeth for you, I might pay somebody to do that. Anyway, so here's the thing. If you're enjoying the show, come join us on Facebook, Facebook/ Under the Crossbones, Twitter / Under Crossbones. No that in that one because it was too long. And of course, you can find all the show notes for this show on underthecrossbones.com/048, because that's episode 48. I will be on stage a couple times this week, July the 14th. That is Thursday. I'll be headlining at the St. George Hotel in Volcano, California, which is a very tiny little town. I had never heard of it until I had been there. But that's the 14th. July 15th, Friday, I'll be headlining at the Underdog Winery in Livermore, California, which is a slightly larger town. And you can get all my tour dates if you just go to underthecrossbones.com/ whatever, and click the tour dates button. That's what it is. Just click the tour dates button. While you're there, go to the support page, underthecrossbones.com/support. You can drop a donation in the Facebook box, PayPal box. My brain is going backwards today. Drop a donation in the PayPal box. That's what it's there for. However much you want to put in there, whatever you think this show is worth to you. There's an Amazon banner. If you click that little Amazon banner, you buy yourself something nice, right? Maybe, I don't know, protein powder or shampoo or an above ground pool, a lawnmower, a nice shirt, whatever you're going to get. I get a little kickback on that. Doesn't change your cost at all. Doesn't cost you anything. Just click that little banner every time you go to Amazon, and I get a little kickback. It helps. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, if you have a product or a service that you think a pirate audience would enjoy, contact me about sponsoring the show. It's very easy. It's very cheap, and we can get it together for you. All right, let's get into my interview right now. Are you ready? Here it comes with Alan Shepard of Hawaii Pirate Adventures. So you are not Alan Shepard the astronaut, because you've not been to the moon and you're not dead. So you are a professional pirate on a pirate ship in Hawaii. So tell us a little bit about the business first, and then we'll dig into where you came from.
All right. The business, it is called Hawaii Pirate Ship Adventures. and it's an hour and a half adventure cruise, good for families. We leave every day from what's called Kewalo Basin on Oahu, so close to Waikiki area. And it's the adventure cruise. It's interactive. It's kind of an interactive pirate experience. So the families that come on, we garb them with a little bit of pirate gear, of course, an eye patch, a sword, a pistol if they're really good. And then we teach them how to be pirates, different terminology they use, of course, the sides of the boat, port, starboard, bow, stern, that kind of thing. And if we're having a lot of fun, there's lots of little kids, we always bring up poop deck because they all love that.
Nothing like a poop joke to get the kids. Yeah.
Exactly. So we do that, and we find a treasure. We do find a treasure out at sea. Luckily enough, we've been in business for 3.5 years and find a treasure each day. It's amazing how that works.
And so what's your function within the crew there?
I'm the captain. I'm the captain, the show captain. I can drive the boat, but during the cruise, the captain plays the most interactive portion of it. So we have a helmsman who actually steers the ship. And we have about 4 people on deck. We've got the captain, the first mate, the quartermaster, and the galley hand that'll interact with the families. And I'm the show director. I've been with the show since it opened, wrote the show. Very proud of it. It's been, like I said, 3.5 years we've been going really strong. Of course, summers are always the strongest time periods, and we do have summer out here in Hawaii. Yeah. But it's been really great. We've been really fortunate.
That's fantastic. And how many people do you take on an average cruise?
We take about average of 47. We can fit 47 in the boat. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. So it's a pretty good size ship then.
Yeah, but it's an 85-foot Spanish galleon. It was a salmon boat that got retrofitted into a pirate ship.
Oh, interesting. And so you're not the owner of the company, right?
No, I'm not the owner. Okay. I'm creator of the show, but not the owner.
So where does one get a ship like that? And do you know the process of having it retrofitted into a pirate ship?
I don't know the process, total process, but it did come from San Diego. There was a company out there that were doing tours in the Bay, more historic tours. Okay. And the owner of our company, his name's Greg Longnecker. Of course, Longnecker, great pirate name. He was in San Diego visiting family, and he saw the boat and had this idea. And he already has a parasail company, a fishing company, and we call it the Honolulu Screamer, which is a giant jet ski. Got it. Can fit about 40 people on it. So he's been to do extreme kind of water sports for a while. So he saw this ship and said, I think I want to create a pirate ship in Hawaii because we don't have that at all here. Uh-huh. And then he put out an ad in Craigslist looking for pirates. And then he found out from me that I was a theater major. I got my master's in theater from University of Hawaii. Okay. And said, hey, can you help me with creating this show? Do you know anything about pirates and writing a pirate show? I said, well, I can sure find out about it. So I did a little bit of research and we created it.
That's always, as a creative person, that is always the correct answer. Do you know how to do this? Yeah. Yep. I'll figure it out. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I've taken on more than one gig that way. Yep, sure, I can do that. So it sounds like a really, really fun time. What kind of stuff do you do on the ship? What kind of activities? Well, actually, I should ask this: how scripted versus improvisational is the event that you put on the ship?
Well, we've got a storyline, a very, very thin outline of a story, and it's a lot improvisational. Of course, that depends on who's on the boat because the passengers change every single day. Uh-huh. So we tailor it to, okay, we're going to do more training of, swab the deck, different pirate things that you would do, getting people to hoist our sails, which we actually don't have sails on the boat. Because then it would take all 47 people the whole time doing that. Right. Yeah. So we do different things. It's a lot of really bad puns, bad jokes that just stem from directly, the visual appearance of the people on deck and where they're from, all that kind of stuff. So
that's great.
The story's very, very thin. Yeah.
I like that you get them to swab the deck. And now I'm pondering some sort of interactive housekeeping simulation business I should start.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite lines on the boat is when I get the younger ones to swab the deck, I always say, now good pirates do this at home twice a week. The parents love that. They love that moment.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. And so you do the family style cruises with kids and all that kind of stuff. And then there's some nighttime cruises and things, right?
There's some nighttime cruises. Yeah, we do an evening dance club, essentially. It's a 21 and over BYOB
Hmm.
dance club at sea, and it gets raucous and rowdy as you can imagine. It's a lot of fun, a lot of craziness. We've done everything in between the dance club and the family pirate shows. We've done weddings, we've done scattering sea ashes. We've got a huge military family base now that we've done reenlistments
Oh,
for all kinds of military. We've done a million different things, and everything's been great.
that's fantastic. Now, how many people do you get coming on board that already have their own pirate gear and are like, the serious reenactor types?
Almost constantly,
Yeah.
almost constantly. At least every single cruise, there'll be a family or a couple almost dressed better than we are.
That's nice. Now, do those people get picky with you about details and things like that, or do they just kind of get into the spirit of this is a touristy thing and let's do it?
Yeah, they get into the spirit all the time. We've only had one person who he was kind of arguing with our quartermaster about, you keep bringing out this map, but really it's a chart. It's a chart. That was the only time, in 3.5 years that we've ever had somebody nitpick you. But every time they get excited and have fun with us.
That's good. That's really great. That's very cool. So where do you come from? I guess the real question is, how does one grow up to be a professional pirate? Where do you come from? How did you get into acting and all that kind of stuff?
I was born in Indianapolis, in Indiana, so in the good Midwestern boy.
Yeah.
And was a musician for a long, long time. Played in bands. I played bass in a lot of bands, and actually played bass for a musical once, and saw the people on stage and went, I can do that, probably better than they can. So let me figure that out. So I started doing theater, and then went to get my undergrad and majored in theater, and then worked as a touring working actor for a lot of years all around the country, and decided I wanted to teach. So I said, well, I've got to get a master's degree, so I'm going to do that. So I said, well, where am I going to go to get a master's degree where I'm going to learn something completely different that I wasn't already used to doing?
Right.
So I visited Hawaii and kind of fell in love with being out here. And then went and ran my own theater company in Indianapolis for a few years, and then decided, I'm going to go back to Hawaii because I can study Asian theater.
Oh, okay.
Because, what better thing to do than, go, hey, I'll go do Asian theater now. Why not?
Sure.
So that was the only program in the country, was at UH Hawaii at Manoa. Instead of going to study, Asian theater in Asia, in Japan, in China, or in Indonesia, where I didn't know how to speak any of the languages, I decided I'll come to UH and do it there. And I've gotten to do so many great things. I've done no theater, kabuki, kyogen, Indonesian Balinese dance theater. I've done a lot of different kinds of things, and I wouldn't have gotten that experience anywhere else in the world. So I've got a master's in that. And then, of course, the natural progression from getting a master's in Asian theater is being a pirate captain. Why not?
Now that's really fascinating. So, I mean, that is about certainly Indianapolis and Hawaii are 180 degrees from each other as far as locales.
Yeah.
Been to both, and yeah. And sir, why did you decide to, as an actor, go that direction instead of the standard, say, New York route?
Well, I did that for a few years. I did the New York thing, and it's just the time commitment and always looking for the next gig. It got to be wear and tear mentally, not so much physically, but mentally, just you're always on, you're always hunting for the next job. And I wanted the more slower, kind of paced life. And once you come out to Hawaii, you experience that very quickly that, okay, everything could be more, tuned down and just kind of chill. And that's how I like to do this. I want to make sure I've got some stability as well. After doing the raucous, crazy, being in bands thing, living the single life, that was fine for a while, but then I wanted to settle down, quote unquote, for a while. And now I'm a family man. I have 2 amazing kids, a beautiful wife, and it's just it's nice to be able to know where the paychecks are coming from, which is great, and to be able to say, I'm still doing what I love, what I studied, and it's still very unique, but it provides a nice stability.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How old are your kids?
4 and 6.
Okay, so do they know yet that dad is a pirate?
Oh, of course. Day one, they knew Daddy was a pirate. Yeah, in fact, they're kind of tired of being on the ship. I bring them on all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My son, his name is Costello. And when he first came on the ship, he was a little bit nervous and he was kind of scared. And he didn't understand that Daddy looks and sounds very different on the boat. So the first time he was on, I sat him in the back and he kept screaming, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Now, this is an 85-foot boat at sea, and we have no mics. Okay, so my voice, I can get pretty loud. And I knew he was my son when I'm in the very, very, front of the boat, and I can hear him all the way in the back, and so can everyone else screaming, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. So I just grabbed him, threw him on my shoulder and said he was my parrot. And then he was happy ever since.
There you go. That works.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I know that. I strangely, I know that same feeling of dad seeming very different while he's at work. My dad was a salesman his entire career, and we'd go visit him at like the mattress store or wherever he was selling that year, and be like, "Wow, dad's so different when he's in like sales mode." I don't think I ever screamed "Daddy, Daddy," but very familiar with that idea, though. That's funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so, so you got your master's. Are you doing any teaching now, or are you just doing this?
I'm doing teaching for little various places. Actually, I'm an adjunct professor for Chaminade University, so I teach acting classes there. Nice. There's not a lot of classes, that people are signing up for regularly. So about once a year, I'll teach a class there, and a couple little dance studios that have a drama portion or a theater portion. I'll teach for those as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people don't think of Hawaii as a hub for acting training or theater training.
Yeah, there's not. There's been a lot of film work to be had out here. So, because a lot of different films are being made out here. In fact, I work in the education department also at a place called Kualoa Ranch. And it's most famous for Jurassic World being filmed there and all kinds of movies. Oh, so all the backdrops in that place is there. So, and I do some theater there as well.
Nice. Yeah. I've noticed that there's a lot of filming work going on there, and your stand-up comedy scene there is finally starting to develop.
It is. In fact, we've got a bunch of good friends that are really doing great work and getting some national exposure, which is cool.
Yeah, that's very. I haven't been there in 5 or 6 years, I think. And when I was last there, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, you're gonna try and find some sets while you're there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I tried, couldn't find anything."
Oh no!
I've had some friends go since though.
Oh, well, you come back out here, I'll get you some sets. I'll get you. There we
go. Right on.
You can do one on the ship. How great would that be?
Oh yeah. See, I need to. All this time I've been doing this show, I still have no pirate material in my show. I used to do some a bunch of years ago, but I need to write some new pirate material for the show. But yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so that's great. So you're teaching, you're doing things, and you said you've been with the ship for 3 years now. And yeah. Have you seen how much? Well, you wrote the show, so what goes into developing a show like that that's so interactive and dimensional?
Well, the way we created it, we basically there was 3 of us, a good friend Lavore and Isaac, who's still on the ship with me currently. Mm-hmm. We basically sat inside the ship in the brig and in the galley and just said, okay, how do we create this hour-and-a-half show? And we started writing all these different scenarios, all these different bits that we could do. And we got a nice little outline, how crazy can we get with shooting the cannons? We have these water cannons that shoot 20 feet of water. Uh-huh. How can we utilize them? How can we fake an attack if nobody's out there? How can we fake, oh no, someone's attacking the ship. How can we do this? So we just created all this craziness and worked on it. But the ultimate thing we needed was to have an audience, to have people on the boat. So the owner, Greg, was saying, well, we can do a couple different things to advertise getting people on here for a couple of days so we can have that test audience. And I was teaching at a small school here. And I said, well, let me make a call and see how many people we can get. And so legally from the Coast Guard, we were able to put on 40 or 47 people. Uh-huh. But I made a call to my school. And of course, every student and every parents wanted to come out. So we had about 80 people show up, which was fun. And so we did it. We went out to do it. We got a special thing to be able to do that number of people. And they had a blast. And of course, we were a little bit nervous going, is this going to work? But it all worked really, really well, better than our expectations. So yeah, I was just sitting in the galley, sitting in the brig, hammering out these ideas and then trying them. So the first 2 weeks we were working, we kind of realized, hey, we're getting paid to basically make this show and jump around and play on a boat for 8 hours a day. This is fantastic. It was wonderful.
That is a pretty cool gig. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How so going in, I mean, I imagine that is a very different type of writing than, say, writing and rehearsing a standard theater piece on a stage where the audience is just going to stare at you. How much did you have to, for lack of a better term, abandon ship on particular bits as you were developing it?
Not that often, honestly. I mean, the most time we kind of toss a bit overboard was because we got tired of doing it. Okay. I mean, everything was working. There were some jokes, really lame jokes that, okay, they didn't get the laugh that we wanted, or the interaction that we wanted. So we would toss it over, but not often. I mean, most of the time everything worked, and we were really, really fortunate, I guess, that everything just kind of clicked. There's been a couple times where, okay, we're going to try to do this. We used to throw the person overboard. And we never had a plank on board. Of course, the first thing people ask is, where's the plank? I want to toss my kid over the plank. And we just said, well, we can't afford a plank because we live in Hawaii. So it's way too expensive. We had to plunder more, steal more. So it's easier just to open the door and give you a boot. So we had this one particular bit where we were going to make somebody to walk the plank or throw them overboard because they committed a crime, and we decide the crime that day depending on what they were doing. Oh no, you touched the stockades without being a prisoner, so now you have to be punished and thrown overboard. So we would get the people out, and we had a shark attractor, which was a life vest. So we'd put the person up, we'd tie him up, we'd put on the shark attractor, the life vest, and we would open the door, and just as we're about to boot them, we would do something to make them, okay, no, you know what? This would be more fun if they apologize to us. We make them get on their knees, say these ridiculous pirate phrases. And one day we had this little girl. She was probably 4 or 5. We're about to throw her dad overboard, and she's screaming and crying. And that's the first time that had happened. And she's screaming and crying. So I looked at her. I said, do you want him to stay? Do you want him to live? And she's, yes, save my daddy. I said, then you have to save her. And I save him. And I threw her a sword, one of the foam swords. And she came over there and she started beating me with this sword. It was great. It was awesome. So we said, well, what we need to do is have sword fights. Because that was okay, the kids get to save their parents and that kind of thing. And so we got these foam swords, and that added a new thing. So a little side bit, that formed was this sword fight thing, which now is one of the most popular bits on the thing, is to have everybody fight a pirate, and then I'll get them to fight each other and fight their parents, and it's just a lot of fun.
Nice. I can imagine that's got to be hugely popular, especially if you let them fight their parents. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they love that. They love that.
So how often do you add new stuff? How often do you turn over material? If somebody comes the next year, are they going to see the same show or something a little bit different added in?
They'll see a little bit different. We've got a bunch of different things that we'll do. We actually did create a little plank that we put in the middle of the boat, and it's very, very small and ridiculous when we tell them to walk the plank. And basically, they just start to get on there. If they get the end, they get this gold necklace that we'll have at the end that we'll be holding above them. And so as they're walking, we usually do this after the sword fights. So if a kid is particularly rough on one of the pirates with the swords, once the kid starts walking the plank, we all take out swords and beat them up. So we'll add things like that. We have in this stockades, we'll have this what we call the gauntlet, which is all these really lame pirate questions that, if somebody breaks the rules, we'll put them inside. Or we won't turn on the cannons. We'll tell everyone to fire. And oh no, somebody sabotaged the cannons. Okay. So we've got these little bits that we'll do. We'll keep them in our pocket just in case. We'll kind of gauge the audience. All right, well, this person, they're not really involved. How can we get them in? So let's pull this bit out. Let's do that. And we've got about probably 20 to 25 little scenarios that we keep under our hats. And it's just depending on the flow of the show, the flow of the audience, if they want to be more relaxed and really just look at the views, then we'll, do the lighter bits, stuff like that. We have a skull that we bring out that we'll throw. They have to play a basketball essentially and throw it through the stockade, and they'll get a gold coin surprise. just various little things. And if, depending on the crowd, we have, or if it's Halloween, for example, instead of a skull, we'll have a bloody arm or a leg, that's different kind of things like that.
That's great. And so it's very modular, so that you can just kind of swap chunks in and out depending on the audience in front of you, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, precisely.
That's fantastic. So, what's the difference between that, say that daytime cruise where you're doing that kind of stuff, and then the boozy, drunky adult cruises at night? You probably don't want them hitting each other. Yeah.
Oh no, we have the foam swords for a reason. Yeah, we definitely want them to hit each other. So we'll pull out those, and depending on the crowd and depending on because we've had anywhere from very very 20s, ready to drink and go crazy and dance, and we've had a 90-year-old lady who came from a shark cage dive, who was her birthday, and she wanted to get raucous and crazy. So we got her on there, and what we do for birthdays usually is do a pirate striptease for them. We'll tie them to the main mast, and then all the pirates will, because we have female pirates, male pirates, and depending on what they want, we'll let them do kind of a lap dance for them.
Nice.
But the 90-year-old lady, she was very, very, she goes, no, you're going to put me in the stocks backwards, and everyone gets a turn with the swords hitting me and spanking me. So, all right, there we go. And from that, we added that as a regular thing to do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I would be shocked by that, except I know a couple of 90-year-old ladies who are like that too.
Who are down with that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. They're both comedians.
Oh, perfect.
That's very cool. So, I mean, besides the one little girl who kind of had a meltdown, do you see meltdowns with the kids on the ship, or are they pretty cool usually?
Not often. We're really good about if a kid. Well, sometimes before they get on the boat, they're terrified and they're sort of screaming and crying. But we've been really good about, and I do a lot of training with the new people that come on, the pirate actors. With it's a very happy medium between scary pirate, but also friendly, inviting, and fun. You never want to be too scary. You got to be just fun enough. And naughty enough, but not bad. You're not the bad guy. You're just naughty and a little rambunctious. And so when I've had kids that come on terrified because they look at me, they see my, rugged bearded face, and the costume I'm wearing, and the character I created is a Scottish pirate,
right?
Because it was easier to use the Scottish dialect and still be loud without destroying my voice.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they hear me, sometimes they go, "Oh, this guy's loud and kind of creepy." So I have to gauge, what I'm doing, to get them feeling welcome and feeling they're part of the show. You're a pirate too now. So the more you reference them being a pirate and being part of this crew, then they get more relaxed, more comfortable. And then by the end, they might have come on screaming and crying, but by the end, they're fighting us with swords and they love it. They're having fun.
That's great. That's great. There's no crying on pirate ships. Suck it up, Junior.
That's right. There's no crying. That's right. No crying. Because usually we'll tie up somebody's, who's crying? We're going to tie him up. And they go, oh, no, okay, we won't cry anymore.
Oh, man. Some of this stuff would work so well in the real world.
Oh, yeah. I've tried it with my kids, but my kids, they take them after me. There's nothing's going to stop them.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. So the website where people can go find out more about this, make reservations and stuff, that is hawaiipirateship.com, correct?
Yeah, hawaiipirateship.com, or the Facebook page. We even have an Instagram, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, hawaiipirateship.com. They can call the number there and book their adventure. Great. Excellent. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you want people to know about? Not that I can think of. Just it's a great experience. I love when we get people that are stubborn and go, oh, I don't think I'm gonna have fun, especially the adults. They come, oh, this is just for kids. But by the end, everybody's having a blast. Everybody has fun and gets into it. Nice. Even 90-year-old women. Gotta love it. Even 90-year-old women. That's right. Well, super, Alan. This was really fun. I'm glad we got a chance to talk, man. Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, you come out, you're on the ship, no problem. You can do the cruise, both cruises. We'll get you a gig on there, just having fun, and look forward to it. Sounds good, man. We'll talk again soon. All right. Appreciate it. All righty. Bye. Bye.
And there it is, friends. That is my interview with Alan Shepard of Hawaii Pirate Adventures. And you can find them at hawaiipirateship.com. And if you're going to be in Hawaii, go check it out because it sounds like a good time. I want to check it out. In Hawaii on a pirate ship with that guy R-ing at you. Come on, that can't not be fun, right? He's got such a interesting story about how he got there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying the show, you can go also if you like pirates. Was I just about to say if you like pirates? If you're listening to the show, right? I got a book for you. I got an ebook for you. It is Alexander Exquemelin's Pirates of Panama or Buccaneers of America. It's one of these seminal pieces of pirate writing from the Golden Age. If you haven't read it, it's really cool. You should check it out. And I've got it for you for free. Just go to underthecrossbones.com and click on the free ebook button, and you'll be all hooked up with it. You can also, if you're out and about and you don't want to type on a computer or laptop or whatever, you can just text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. Text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. It'll kick you back a little link, and you can download it right to your phone, and it's all good. Now, so we know that we like pirates, but there's new pirates. There's modern pirates, and they're not cool. They don't dress well. They don't talk interestingly. They do not have a parrot on their shoulder. There are no swords involved. The modern pirates, they just want to steal your identity, and that's no fun. It's just a dude in a basement with a laptop just trying to steal your identity. And it's a drag when it happens. That had happened to me. Every site is getting hacked like crazy now. Every week we hear about another site getting hacked. Stealing your password, stealing your email, stealing your whatever, stealing your credit card number. Don't let it happen to you. I want you to get a membership with LifeLock. It's cheap, it's easy, and they will keep you out of trouble. Because LifeLock, what they do is they go out to the dark, ugly parts of the web, and they make sure that your information's not out there. And if it is out there, if they find it, they will let you know, and they will help you fix it. That's the good part. That's the part that the free credit monitoring thing with your credit card, that it doesn't do that. They don't really help you fix it. LifeLock will help you fix it, and it's cheap, and you can get 10% off of your membership. Just go to underthecrossbones.com/LifeLock, click on the Start Your Membership button, and you will get 10% off because it's cool. We cool like that. Yeah, just get a LifeLock thing because you're going to need it. They come in handy for me regularly. All right, we got some comedy and music on the show today. Comedy today from Johnny Taylor, a very funny dude from Sacramento, California. And I'm going to play you a track from his latest album called Tangled Up in Plaid. And then we have a song called from the Bohemian Mechanics. It's a song called, I forgot. Hang on, let me look at the title of the song. It's called Waiting on a Giant Moon. You would think that I would have looked at the song title before I said something about it, or maybe even put it in my notes that are in my hand or something. Anyway, Bohemian Mechanics, the song is called Waiting on a Giant Moon, and it's from their album called The 500-Pound Umbrella, and it's super cool. You are going to dig it. All right, you ready? Comedy and music, here we go. Johnny Taylor and then the Bohemian Mechanics.
I realized recently I have evil inside me. I have darkness in me. This is going to be the dark portion of the album. I realized I have darkness in me and evil lurking within myself. The first sign of it was I switched grocery stores. I used to shop at Whole Foods. Couldn't afford it anymore due to all these ex-wives that I'm accumulating. Rapid pace. So what I decided to do is I was like, I'm going to shop at Safeway. I'm going to shop at the Safeway store. You guys shop at Safeway? Anybody here? Okay. So you guys know you have evil in you too. Because as far as I know, that's the only place on the planet that requires you at checkout to say, no, I don't want to help kids with muscular dystrophy. They make you say it. You think you could just politely decline and hit no on the ATM? But then the clerk's like, don't you want to help the kids? And then you're like, I guess I don't. That's weird. I don't even know myself anymore. And they're like, really? It's only $1, and you bought 30 pieces of string cheese. I'm like, Do they like string cheese? Give them a couple. I don't know. I did my set. I was working with a pretty prominent headliner. And after the show, the guy's like, hey, man, you got a lot of good stuff. But it's kind of dark. You kind of do a lot of dark humor. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I just try to stay away from some topics. He's like, if you're going to do a joke about AIDS, you should have AIDS. And I was like, that would have to be an amazing joke. I'm not that committed to comedy. That joke always kills. It kills less nowadays. Modern medicine and all.
You can rock the cradle, or you can walk the dog, or you can go around the world, you can kiss a frog. Come on, shout hallelujah, or Giacomo Finane. Papa just keep on drinking, all mama does is pray. For me, I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. Dancing on a rooftop with my dish and spoon. You may think I've lost it, I'm as crazy as a moon. Things are gonna get better, 'cause they can't get much worse. Poor old Lawrence Tower got to deal with a wolfman curse. Me, I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting. I hope that it's coming soon, like a big old shiny orange balloon. I'm waiting on a giant moon. I'm waiting.
That's our show for today, friends. Thank you once again for tuning in. If you are enjoying the show, please tell a friend. You're hanging out at a pirate festival, you're hanging out at a Renaissance fair, you're hanging out on one of the mini pirate Facebook groups, tell a friend. Just say, hey, have you ever heard Under the Crossbones? If not, you should check it out at underthecrossbones.com. Because word of mouth is what makes the world go round. Yes. If you want to find out more from our guests today, you can visit Alan Shepard at hawaiipirateship.com. Make your reservations. Hit it while you're there. It's all fun. You can find out more about Johnny Taylor, our comedian, at johnnyisn'tfunny.com. Johnny actually is funny, but that's his website, johnnyisn'tfunny.com. And if you want to hear more from the Bohemian Mechanics, go to bohemianmechanics.com. You can find out all the show notes for this show, links to the albums, links to everybody, all that kind of good stuff at underthecrossbones.com/048. Keep leaving those iTunes reviews. I dig them. Make sure that you are subscribed to the show because that's what really helps. Tell a friend, be good to each other, get all the suck out of your life and enjoy something. All right? I'll see you guys next week.